Hello everyone, this is Mr. Slimer here. We're going to continue reading the Grin Chapter 4. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. My hand was shaking. The paintbrush nearly slipped between my two fingers. Blood. I just painted with blood. My eyes were wide and unblinkable as I slowly placed the paintbrush in the glass of water. Stirring the cup of the jar, I gulped, finding it to be time to check out the news to get a better idea on what's going on that I got myself into. Something I thought was nice, dread, but getting me more red paint when I was out, but actually I got a sick replacement. Even scarier is possible that the masked man is mine. It was nice indeed. I took a deep breath as I wandered through the house, making my way to the living room. I swiftly sat down in a chair, picked up the remote. Cold sweat began as I wondered what was going on. If I was really ready to see it or not. Letting out a sigh, I pressed on the red button on the remote of the television, clicking on. I turned to the news channel, seeing commercials currently playing, each moment of agonizing slowly as I sat there. The urging was eating me alive. Finally, the news went back on. I forced myself now to wait for them to quit talking about the weather. Boring. I waited until finally I heard them begin talking about the murder. The town Grimson's murder has struck again. Late last night, younger viewers are now recommend, and if you are not strong enough in the stomach, it's not advised that you continue watching. For those who want to know of this murder, he is known as the Bloody Painter. He wears a white mask, black out eyes, red painted smile. He wears a blue jacket with a yellow smiley face pin. His pants and shoes are black, along with his hair. The only details is that he was described from the witnesses that he's usually carrying a green sketchbook filled with drawings, more from one thing, of the blood of the victims. His killing usually involves teenagers only, young adults. What he does has been troublesome sight of any that had come across. The victims are usually hung by their ankles on a tree or a tall enough to support their weight. Afterwards, their neck has been sliced, causing their blood to flow down. Most did think that he keeps a bucket of some sort underneath and gathering all the blood. After the victim was drained completely, he moves on. The latest victim was Jasmine Stevenson. Her body was found in the same way as the others. If you have any information about where this man is, please notify the authorities. It is remained that everyone stays indoors as much as they can. Do not roam around the streets. Stay safe, everyone. I turned off the TV, not wanting to see anymore. The Bloody Painter was his name. I know that the jar was in fact blood. If the police were to find me in the possession of it, I didn't know what to do or want to do. Would I ever say? I suppose I worry about that later. Besides, the police weren't going to be searching my room anytime soon. Anyway, but still, the Bloody Painter gave me a jar of blood of one of his victims. Because I was out of paint. He killed one of my bullies. He returned the sketch of him trying to smooth it out. I have seen him by the trees 3 times now, yet he has not killed me. In fact, somewhat special, yet terrifying at the same time. This could be part of this game, getting me to be comfortable and then attack. No matter how nice he's been so far, that doesn't change the fact that he's a murderer that could flip on me anytime soon. I just have to play this outright. I had zero interest on informing the police that I've seen him. I saw no point. I'm not the biggest fan of people. Obviously, the bloody painter wasn't either. He wasn't trying to kill me, so why would I bother? There's no one that is stupid in town that I was afraid of. So why should I try to protect anyone? I started finding it funny that the bloody painter chose me of all people to keep alive. Probably being his safest choice of person. Strange part of me wanted to talk to him and get to know him at that. I truly determined that, like Brandy said, no matter. In all honesty, I find what he does absolutely fascinating. Thanks to that school, my eyes were barely open as I crept in the large gray building. No thrill to be a subject into the horror of this day. But I should perk up. It's Friday after all. The best day of the week, no doubt. I walked through the corridors of the hall, my back along the creaky against my hips as I went. When I turned the hall, however, I saw three guys walking in my way. One in the middle, then I realized, unfortunately, Brandy and his freaking ring from him was Cody and Jimmy. They separated out, not allowing me to pass. I grunted frustrated as I could look at Brandy. What do you want? I snarled, bracing my teeth. His eyes narrowed and appeared like he wanted me to kill me. I know you have something to do with the murders around the town, he growled. My eyes widened in shock, but I kept my poker face. And why do you say that? Because you just drew the motherfucker the other day. I remember crumpling it up, that freaking piece of paper, thinking it was just from your sick imagination, but I see the same man on the news yesterday. Why else would you draw him? Why would a girl that you hated die all of a sudden? He spat, his gray eyes now cold. I don't know. I saw him on the news too and decided that it would be easy to draw him. Why'd you jump to the conclusion, moron? I muttered, rolling my eyes. My heart was wild because I knew that he was probably correct. Watch your mouth, you little freak. The boy at Brandy's left, Cody, his green eyes were menacing as his curly blonde hair covered them a bit. I snorted. Yeah, same to ya. I giggled, causing him to crack his knuckles in frustration. Come on, let's go. Brandy mustered in a monotone voice. They parted. I squeezed through them, their shoulders, their glares cringing on my back. I looked at the large window to see exactly a sunny day today. I leaned against the bricks outside of it, staring out. I was pretending, obviously, in the features, standing out to the side. The bloody painter was there, watching in the middle of the plain daylight. He seemed pretty brave, or that he was just psychotic to care. From the view, he would have seen everything that happened. Probably even he heard it due to the window being open. The confront that gave me was unnerving. I peeked behind me to see no one was paying attention. I turned my back to a small smile from my face. I lifted my hand and waved at the bloody painter for some reason that unknown to me. I thought I got a reaction, but he simply nodded back. My smile grew, saying that I was in fact on good terms with him. At least, I hope I was. Warning bell sounded, causing me to jump. I started to give him a look before I rushed to my next class. I slid inside the door right when the bell rang. My breath was loud and operating due to my running. I woke me up. At least I tugged to my seat as the teacher began. My headphones were firmly placed in my ear. I turned on Survivor from Black Veil Bride. Grinning and Andy's voice filled my ears. My smile grew as I listened to the lyrics, finding them quite fitting at the moment. I started, unfortunately, humming the tune, causing the teacher to roughly stop at my desk and getting my attention. I jumped, in response by my headphones in class. Just pulled them out. I could leave with that, I guess. They should know by now I was going to keep them in. Finally the bell rang, causing everyone to tap over each other to get out of this hell's room. Packing away my things, I walked to my last class. I started along the hall, freezing when I heard the sounds of an ear-piercing shriek. Me, most likely. All the other teens took a look of running down the hall to see what happened. Although I thought I had an idea of what, I pushed by people rushing by their rude remarks as I did. And so, a sudden sea of teens filled the main hall. For once, every last one of them were dead silent and looked at horror and shock covering every last one of their faces, even the teachers. I followed. Their glances, my breath was caught in my throat, and I finally saw what they were looking at. There, hanging by his ankles on the stair rail, was Cody. His neck was slit. The crimson liquid of his blood dripping his face and soaking one of his once golden hair. His mouth was hanging open, along with his dead emerald eyes. Blood covered below him in one white floor, along with the being spreading of the wall, some of his blood dripping down from his body, saying that this had been done recently. Hell, it had to be. If the teachers would have found it before we did, everyone had been dispersing around to avoid seeing it. And avoiding seeing this mess, the chaos that had just begun, right before everyone began to scream. I ran and noticed the last detail on the wall. There was writing saying in blood, it said,